morning, heart of South Philly. Let's go see what the people have got to say. I'm ready to roll, baby.
Now listen here, Dutch. The Mets and the Cowboys, they suck.
1, 2, 3, go Birds! Go Birds! Here we got 302BIRDS, Geno State. Go Birds!
Go Birds.
Get your water ice and soft pretzels ready because you are now tuned into a 302BIRDS podcast experience. Proudly presented by TickPick, Nick's Pizza, El Diablo Burritos, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street. Let's take it to the show.
Good evening. As you guys know, another day, another dollar out here in Delaware. Another episode of 302BIRDS. Got Jack and Josh joining me on what looks almost like a casting couch. I'm not gonna lie, but
it's not a casting couch. I'll tell you that.
Oh! But no,
I wouldn't want to take a black leg to this thing. Am I right?
Facts. Oh my God, that might be the most dynamic start to a podcast. That's what you got to do when you don't have ballpark Tommy. You got to start this thing off with a bang. Phillies tonight, bringing it home with a bang. I really hope, knocking on wood, hoping I don't regret saying that. Kyle Schwarber was
9-4
salami a couple minutes ago. What is it now, Josh? The score?
9-5. 9-5.
Okay, we're looking pretty good. Like I said, knock on wood, because nothing's impossible. We have an awesome show tonight for you guys. We got a call in here for a second. We got our boy who's been crushing it. I don't know. I got intern Amir written down, but intern Amir, I don't know. He's not really an intern. He's kind of like above that. We just call him intern because he's young Amir and he's helping us out. But seriously, Amir, we appreciate you. So this is going to be his first time ever on the whole show with us. So if you guys don't know Amir yet, he's one of our new hosts. We're training him. He's going to be out here tonight, whole show joining us. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But without further ado,
I said it's his first time on the full show.
First time on the full show. We've had him come on for segments, so taking off the training wheels tonight.
I remember my first time.
Oh my God,
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is. Their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302BIRDS sent you. God bless. Go Birds.
Like it's saying in the ad, if you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos. They got the best burritos in town, baby. Best burritos in town. Tonight we got Dominic on. How you doing tonight, Dominic?
Good, how are you?
Good. I see you're wearing your split Phillies hat right now. The past 2 weeks, how do you feel about these Phillies? Or do you have any questions for us?
I think they're gonna start picking it up again.
Okay. Do you have anything for us? Anything you want to ask us?
What do you think? I don't know. How do you feel about the Eagles this year?
Good question.
So that's a great question because it's Eagles season right now. And even though the Phillies are playing right now, it's always Eagles fans here. With Jack. On paper, they look really good. They look really good, really solid. Preseason, I mean, who really cares about preseason? But I mean, this should be a really good season for the Eagles. And I, knock on wood, hope we don't see the collapse like we have last season. We have the best offensive line still. We got the best trio or tandem at the wide receiver. Our linebackers are still a little iffy, but we'll talk about that more later in the show. But I'm excited. Saquon Barkley running behind this line, I think it's going to be a night and day difference from last year. And not to mention, we actually have coordinators that know what the fuck they're doing. Because last year, Sean Desai, the defense coordinator, No idea what he was coaching. Same with who's the offensive coordinator?
And it was Brian Johnson.
Yeah, Brian Johnson. So I'm excited to see what we can do
He's
with
Minsky.
Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore.
I think the name of the season is going to be how much depth we have. I think on paper, every starter is fantastic. I actually trust the linebackers more this year. Can't get worse. But I think the big thing is like that we got an early bye. So that week 5 through 8, we got to be healthy around that time. You know, you don't want to lose a player and start to go to that second string like midway through the season. I don't think our depth is going to be great, but I think our starters are fine. I feel good. My worry is that the 2024 Phillies are the 2023 Eagles, where we're clearly the best team, and then we get the freaking yips and just forget how to play the sport. So hopefully they pick it up.
I love the question, Dom. I love that you bring that energy to the show because, in my opinion, Eagles are Super Bowl bound. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no plan B, for lack of a better term. It's do or die for the Eagles this year. The Eagles are the team that I'm most contingent on right now to win a championship. It's funny because it really shifted from the Phillies. I was such on the Phillies bandwagon, like, oh, this team's going to do it. This team's great. But the Phillies have fallen flat on their face. Not tonight, excluded. But as far as a whole, which we'll get to here in a second, the Phillies haven't really done anything to help themselves either. So the Eagles seem to be sharp. You hear all the things about Jeremiah Trotter Jr., which we'll get to later in the podcast. Make sure you guys stay tuned in for that. But I think that the Eagles are in a very good bright spot right now. And shout out to my boy Cowboys Beat. I'm just going to rant here for a second. Today, Cowboys Beat and I were having a little bit of a friendly discussion. And he messaged me basically just saying something along the lines of, hey, man, I don't think that the Eagles are top 10 this year. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't even think that they're a top 10 team. I can name 10 rosters better right now. So I had him name 10 rosters better. And this kind of shocked me because I would not say that these 10 teams are better. And you guys let me know what you think real quick, Dom, yourself included. Let me just get the list for you guys. I know that the Browns and the Jets were both on there. And it's like the Browns and the Jets both had great defenses. Here it is. Lions, 49ers, Cowboys, Packers, Chiefs, Jets, Texans, Bengals, Ravens, and Browns have better rosters. The doubt is real. Like, bring it. Fucking bring it. That's what I got to say this year. Because the Eagles, there is no plan B. There is no, other option. It's do or die, win Super Bowl, or I'm fucking shoving this whole hat with the damn new awesome Papa John's pin that I got on there down my throat. And please don't make me do that, Eagles, because we're all banking on you to win a championship this year. There's no other option. I mean, Amir, how are you feeling about it?
See, I think that if the Eagles, they need to win the championship this year. You can't have what happened last year and then just keep on moving forward without making yourself that championship caliber team that the city needs. It's been too long. All right. Now, with the Eagles, with what you say the guy's name is, Cowboy, whatever, I don't know.
Cowboys Beat. He's a
Cowboys
TikToker.
Beat.
He's a good friend of mine, too. I do love him. Shout out to him. He's one of my favorite Cowboys fans, if not my favorite.
See, I don't think the Jets are anywhere near top 10. Half those teams shouldn't be in the top 10. Top 20, sure, but top 10, no, because top 10 is where all the teams that have a shot, and the top 5 is where the teams that are Super Bowl contenders stand. And the Eagles are in that top 5, even top 3. But saying they're not in there at all is no. But I just think that if the Eagles don't get a championship this year, I don't know who will. Probably the Phillies, but we're seeing how it's crumbling. So we gotta see.
Not gonna lie, and call me, jumping conclusions, but it's something I'm really worried about, and it's a crazy hot take, but the Bears got really good this year. They got great receivers. Caleb Williams, obviously it's preseason. He's playing out of his mind. and they got night and day difference with DeAndre Swift, with who's the receiver they just picked up. But that team is
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen, yeah, Keenan Allen's on that team. So the Bears definitely got a lot better, and I'm concerned for us with if we see them in the NFC Championship. So I don't think we will, but at the same time, I mean, that's the only team that I'm really concerned about.
Dom, how about yourself?
Nah, they're gonna
What
suck.
are your
No.
expectations for the Eagles this year?
I'm expecting them to have a really good year. I don't think they're going to have another fall off. And I think the defense will be much better with the new coaching staff.
Are you a Fangio guy or not a Fangio guy?
Yeah, I like him. I think he's got a good resume and he's very experienced.
Okay, now offensively, Kellen Moore guy or not a Kellen Moore guy?
I don't know a whole lot about him, but I think he'll do much better than Brian Johnson did. So
hey, that's a great answer. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that one. Perfect. Well, hey, Dom, we want to thank you for joining us as always. Please be sure to call in during the Eagles season. We appreciate you. And let the people know where they can give you a follow as well if you'd like.
I don't really post a lot on social media like that.
That's all
Nice.
good, man. Well,
Respect
hey,
the
go
game.
Phillies. Yeah, he's just a legend
Dominator.
that you guys can only find by listening to this podcast. That's
This
Dom, what's
specific
what's the street address? What's the street address?
Josh,
Nah.
shut the fuck up.
He's like,
Sorry,
nah.
Dom. We appreciate you, man. Have a good
The
night.
Dominator.
All right, see ya.
See you
Cool.
now.
So now he's not here tonight. It does feel always lonely when he's not here. I'm not going to lie, but we'll go ahead and kick it into the ballpark. Brought to you by Nick's Pizza. And if you guys haven't, please try Nick's Pizza. I believe if you're listening to this podcast on Thursday, I know Wednesday for sure, they're doing a college benefit where you can get chicken cutlet sandwiches. So check them out. They look really good. Regardless, if you're listening to this like a week or two later, just go to Nick's Pizza for great food. But with that being said, let's kick it into the ballpark. Sponsored by Nick's Pizza for our second consecutive year. Thank you, Nick. Time for Phillies talk with Ballpark Tommy. Ginger Stitch. All right. It sucks when Tom's not here and whenever we got to talk about the Phillies, but do you guys want the good first or do you guys want the bad? I'll let you guys pick how we take the ballpark tonight.
Let me do it.
Good
What
or
is
bad?
Tom? I'm just gonna pretend to be Tom. Oh, the Phillies aren't hitting. We're not pitching. The bullpen sucks. The manager, blah, 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 some accounting equation. Blah, blah, blah. I feel like we just hit the ball, like just pitch and hit the ball. Baseball seems kind of like a simple game. Like you pitch it, and you don't want them to hit the ball, and then when they pitch you, you just hit the ball. We just have to do all that stuff better. All right. There's no chess match like there is in football. Yeah, we're throwing certain pitches, whatever. Hit the goddamn ball. Right?
I like that. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Tom's gonna kill me.
like Josh said at the top of the show, like this Phillies team right now is what happened last year to the Eagles.
It's facts.
2023. We had a hot start. We started off a little slow. Then we had a hot streak. And then we come to the All-Star with a hot streak. And then after that, we've just been kind of falling down. And I'm not sure if it's the pitching or what. Bryson Stott is not playing nearly as great as we need him to. Luckily, we'll hit on it too. But, once Schwarber hit that grand slam tonight, this team started picking up. So I don't know if it's someone that needs to hit a grand slam or a home run, people on base. But we need to improve that.
I mean,
Tom said, and then Tom did say, like, obviously the Olympics were last week, but like we would be a gold medal winner for leaving man on base, right? Tonight we really haven't done that. So we're kind of improving bit by bit, but at the same time, we can't have a downfall like we have in the past 3 weeks. Like, this is crazy. This team is losing. They lost to the Marlins last night, who is probably one of the worst teams in the MLB right now.
they suck.
And they beat us, what, 6-0 or 5-0? We can't be doing that. So it's just a matter of play Edmundo Soso. Keep playing him. Like these bench players that kind of fill in, which I've said multiple times before, have done a lot to this team, and we haven't really seen that much. So that's all I got to say. We just got to keep on putting the floor to to the floor and keep on grinding.
Yeah, and like to a certain point, I was joking, but like in football, if the offensive coordinator sucks, at some point the offense can still you still know how to throw the ball and catch the ball. Like obviously there's more to baseball, I'm joking, but at some point you just have to be able to pitch and to hit the baseball. And like Jack said, Schwarber comes up, hits a Schwarber bomb, gets that grand slam. This team builds off of energy. Like just hit the ball. Just be an athlete.
I just want to say real quick too, this comment which Shard has on there. There was this guy that came on the show tonight, and I don't know who he was. No disrespect to the guy, but he was just like some random like dude that was just like babbling on there like a fan. Love the guy's jersey. He did have on the badass Chinese Facebook special. Love that one. With the Bomer. I mean, it looked legit. But he's in there just talking shit, saying about basically how the Phillies need to bat better. And John Kruk put it best, and he said, I bat 1,000 from the box up here talking. So it is easier said than done, but I also get where Phillies fans are coming from. Like, to an extent, this is unacceptable. This is just the rough patch. Like, Kyle Schwarber tonight, before he hit that grand slam, was 0 for 16, they said. That is not good. Like, it's like they fall out of it, and then their personalities fall out of it, and then they don't do themselves any favors to dig themselves out of it. That is depressing to see as a fan. That just deflates you, because going in the playoffs, we don't want to see that. Amir, you got any thoughts?
See, like, I don't really watch baseball because I just can't really stand it, to be honest. But I still would watch Phillies games, but they're just unwatchable now. As a Philly fan, it's embarrassing, really. You're just embarrassing the city that you're wearing on your chest. You got to do better for everybody, even yourself, the team, even the enemy team. They got to be scared when you get to bat. They have to have terror in their eyes. The pitcher has to be scared. We need to do better. The Phillies need to do better. The whole city needs to just storm Citizens Bank Park and just show them how to do it.
I'm with it. Somebody said Fratty. Shout out to Fratty. He said, I nominate Dalt Holland for manager. Fratty, I don't know what the fuck you see in me to be a baseball manager of all things. But I hear what you're saying. There needs to be some sort of discipline. And that was actually, I got to give Spike Eskin some credit. I was listening to him today on 94 WIP, and he had a good point saying nobody really gives Philly Rob shit for not really disciplining these players. Gabe Kapler, he didn't really discipline the Phillies players, the manager. And nobody really gave Gabe shit, but the Phillies weren't a good team about it. Then Girardi came in. We're like, cool, we got an asshole now. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's going to, discipline some people. And it was almost like too much discipline. So I wonder if that is Philly Rob's style and if that's what works for this team. But somebody needs to get sent down. Somebody needs to get, moved, benched. Something needs to change for the Phillies. I mean, besides tonight, I'm glad that they got their swagger. But the overall stretch since the All-Star break, batting-wise as well, specifically, has been unacceptable. Now, tonight, I will say, I was yelling at the TV, yelling at Kyle Schwarber, talking so much shit. 0 for 16, this, that. And then, bam, he cranked it. And it was great to see that. It was great to see that moment. Take that momentum, gentlemen, and bottle it up. Because that's all it takes. It takes one game, takes one night, takes one moment to change the trajectory of a season. So, Philadelphia Phillies, I hope that grand salami was it. And turn it on. Turn it up. Because when Josh Sepp's in the house Friday night, you better bring a damn win home. You're muted.
Yeah, we can.
Here's the deal. My girlfriend has bought me these tickets for my birthday, and I love her. But there's a real chance that the game gets out of hand. She's the type of girl who's going to want to leave at like inning 6. And I want to stay till the 9th inning. So please give me a good game. Okay? Don't let it get out of hand.
I'm sorry.
I would
to
not
say the
sit
whole
in that traffic for this team either. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I'm
trying to say the whole game.
I'm sorry to say this, Philly fans, but Josh has been to 2 games, right?
Two Phillies games.
2 Phillies games.
Two-
and
in my
they
life.
lost. So expect a loss on Friday.
No.
But
The luck of the Irish
you know
is
who's not
changing.
losing? USA, baby, taking that gold in basketball, baby.
We
How
win
you
it.
feeling about
We
that?
win everything.
I mean,
it's a joke.
We won the Olympics, right? USA should have dominated all those teams, but it is great seeing them
We did.
win, especially the
We
women's
did.
as well.
We did.
Steph Curry popped off. It's crazy how he wasn't really doing much the whole Olympics, and then the last 2 games he kind of popped off. And it's great. I mean, we should be expected to win the gold for basketball because
we should.
if you really think about it, the majority of the players on our team, actually, it's a fact, they're all in the NBA. Whereas a few players, like in Serbia, like Jokic, they play in the NBA, but basketball's our sport. So it is great to see that W.
We got the monkey off of Joel Embiid's back. I'm going to the game Friday night. We're going to get the monkey off my back. We're not going to be 0-2. The Phillies are going to win. Everybody's monkey's getting off the back.
Yeah,
it was great to see because there was like people saying like Dave Portnoy, "Oh, I want France to win this." Shut the fuck up. Let me say that a little bit louder. Shut the fuck up. God, I can't stand that shit. That really pisses me off as a Philly fan. You want to buy into this team? Here's a 60 grand or whatever the fuck it was, a full salary that you could have paid somebody like me or somebody to be on Barstool to make good content for you for a year. And you just put it on the Phillies and say, fuck it. And then, of all things, you just puss out and give up on this team. Like, dude, it's August like 10th when he said it, or like 9th. It was like it was a little bit before that. Like, what the fuck is that? So him with that France comment, that pissed me off too. Dave, I hope you're my future boss one day, but shut the fuck up. Oh my God. France? Come on, man. I was so happy to see USA get it done. And it's great to see LeBron too. LeBron's like fucking 90 years old out there running around these 22, 23-year-olds, fucking dunking on them. Like, he's insane. It's just great to see him play at that caliber. And I was thinking about it as well. And I'm like, LeBron's this ain't his last Olympics. Uncle Drew, like for LeBron, he's going to come out there and play in the 2028 Olympics. You know why? Because somehow Bronny James is going to end up getting, or maybe Bryce Maximus is going to end up getting a spot. So it was really good to see the Sixers star as well, Joel Embiid, kind of get that role of like, hey, I don't have to be the primary guy. See what that feels like. What's it like not being the star? It's good to see. Maybe it gives somebody like Paul George time this year. Maybe that's a good thing for the Sixers. He even did say that. They asked him, what did you learn? And he said, I learned how I don't have to be, always in command to win a game. That may not be the case necessarily true with the Sixers, but I think it's good to see how to take the supporting role and take both sides of it for that 10% of the year when he shouldn't be in command of the game. But gold, man. I mean, in a sport we own.
How do we let France still be a country? Like, they're just horrible at everything.
You know what's crazy? And then we can get off this topic. But like the different countries, they give their gold medal winners a lot of different benefits.
Money.
And
houses.
USA only gives their gold medalists like $37,000, which is nothing. And whereas Philippines gives them like $745,000, all this crazy stuff. It just, no, and they give them a house, they give them a restaurant they can stay at, or they can eat at all for life. They give them an apartment, like they give them all this shit.
Wait. How much does the U.S. give you again? Can you say that again? Sorry.
Yeah, no, they give all their gold medal winners $37,000. That's what if they win gold, they get $37,000. Which, hey, for me, if I was a gold medalist, that'd be a great amount. But for these professional athletes, that's nothing. So it's crazy how much these other countries give their gold medalist winners than the U.S. does.
That's because they get to live in America, the greatest country on earth. That should be prize enough. Win the gold medal for your country. Also, Who's paying that $37,000? Where do you think that money's coming from? Taxes. That's coming out of your taxes, buddy.
Anyway,
Also, we win the
I wonder
gold
what.
in every other sport. That'd be a lot of money. Like, that would be a lot of money we had to pay.
Yeah.
I wonder what Turkey gives you for getting a silver
Nothing.
medal.
They're probably like, sorry, you're still in this country. That's what every other country should do. Like, oh, you won the gold. Sorry, you still have to live here.
Oh,
USA, USA, USA.
Josh, was that called nationalism in high school? See, I still know my shit, Josh.
It's called USA rocks, and every other country sucks.
Hey, I do agree
yeah.
with the USA rocks. But
Yeah.
Eagles Ravens, Jack Dordan maybe was not having the prettiest household the other night. Jack, tell us about this game. How were you doing watching it?
I was doing great. I mean, my Birds were winning. My girlfriend's a Ravens fan, so she wasn't too happy about it. But it's nice seeing these players perform well. Like we talked about earlier, we'll hit on it later. Like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was playing great. We had Will Shipley, who I sworn about. I love that guy. I saw him in college. He played well. Kenny Pickett, I mean, he's going to probably be the second string quarterback. We'll see how Tanner McKee or Trevor McKee plays tomorrow. But it's great that football's back. I mean, as you guys know, I don't give two shits about preseason. It doesn't mean anything to me. I think they should just do 1 week and then regular season. But it's nice seeing these Eagles perform great. And night and day difference from when we had, Sean Desai and Brian Johnson as our coordinators, and now we have Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore, and how different the gameplay is. Just a lot of takeaways from this game that makes me happy to see what these Eagles can do in the regular season.
We love to see you happy. I thought Kenny Pickett played better than like a stat line said. Like, it looked like he did not have that many. It looked like he had a bunch of completions for short yards. I thought he played better than that. I would not be concerned about Jake Elliott because that tropical storm was still over Baltimore, even though it wasn't raining, so the wind was kind of weird. I'm going to caveat that. And then I think the big thing you're going to see from this game is that the Eagles have no wide receiver 3. None. Johnny Wilson sucked. The other guy, Nias, he's bad. John Ross, for how fast he is, he gets no separation. So
He's also like 70 years old.
He is old. Covey played well. And I think he could be a viable third string, or I guess a wide receiver 3
slot.
But one, do you want him there? Because obviously, I mean, I think he's the best punt returner in the NFL. So do you want him playing receiver? And two, God forbid Devontae Smith or AJ Brown go out. I think we're so something needs to happen. We need to either trade for a wide receiver 3 or we need to figure something out. And obviously, like I said, Goddard is always going to be the third receiving option, and then you got Barkley out of the backfield. I get that, but big hole. I think that's the thing I saw most from that first preseason game. Big hole there on the roster.
Can I make one quick comparison, and then I want to kick it to Amir?
No, you may not.
Miller,
Amir, what are your thoughts?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you remember him with Tom Brady, that was a dirty slot receiver, white boy that got the job done. I remember Scotty Miller. If you remember him, put a hand up. But no, I seriously think Covey could be similar to Scotty Miller. Dangerous. What are you thinking, Amir?
So this is it's preseason, so you can't really say anything, but you can't say like how the coaching. It's nice coaching, to be honest, but the defense, like I think it was Quinion Mitchell that almost had that pick. It like bounced off his chest. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he undercut the slant route.
What'd you say?
He undercut the slant route. He almost picked it. Yep.
Yeah, he like bounced off of him, but look, he's solid. All right. But Jake Elliott, as you were saying, it was weird wins, so you can't really be too hard on him. But at the time, I was like, holy shit, the best kicker in the league, he's falling off. But no, he's still gonna be the best kicker in the league. Justin Tucker, just because he makes the world record for the field goal. It's Justin Tucker. He's on the Ravens. They're a shitty Birds team. They're not the real Birds. All right. But no, you had Jeremiah Trotter, he had impressive debut. But yeah, if you look at the stat line, 24 first downs, it's all right. But anyways, we gotta see how it comes in this next game, because Ravens are shit.
I think it's preseason too. The Ravens should be better, but they're not the same team that they were. What's up, Jack?
This is quick. So I got the new Madden, right? So Madden's rosters are always up to date, right? The starting linebackers, we don't really know who they are right now. But in the game, it's Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Cooper DeJean. So take
Oh shit! So maybe they leaked the Bengals uniforms, and maybe they leaked the script, and maybe that'll be the starter. Jack, if you called that, we're gonna go back to this take and just say that's the conspiracy theory this week. My new conspiracy theory this week is the Eagles' new depth at safety. I'm really liking this kid, Caden Stern, who played with Vic Fangio before in Denver. He kind of came in when Justin Simmons was out, and he was a really, really, really strong depth piece. He could do that, I think, for the Eagles. So it's kind of like a gamble right now is what the Eagles are doing. They're taking a shot in the preseason saying, hey, let's see what we got with this guy. If it works out, he could be a starter. Hell, we got, Bradbury back there right now. CJ, GJ, Mekhi Gardner, they're both, I think, going to be fine. They're not a long-term injury, but the Eagles definitely need depth at safety. So I really like this move by Howie. I think Vic Fangio obviously had an influence on this, and we'll just kind of roll the dice with him. The kid's only 24, fifth-round pick out of Texas in 2021. The dude, was pretty solid when he played in 21 games over. He's only played, though. That's the problem. In 21 games over 3 years. But in his 21 games that he's played, see, that's the kicker right there. He's had 4 interceptions, 9 passes deflected, and those were the games before. So he's kind of been out for the past 2 years with a knee injury, and then he also had a hip injury. So for the Eagles, I like it. I think when this kid plays, he's good. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He has something to prove. And that's what my favorite thing about what Howie Roseman has done with this secondary is this year. He has a bunch of guys out there with Darius Slay who has shit that they want to prove. They have chips on their shoulders. They're ready to rock. They're ready to roll. And if that, as a fan, doesn't get you juiced, that doesn't get you ready, I don't know what will. Jack, Josh, Amir?
Hear me out.
Unmute problem.
Hear me out. And this is a hot take, and if this doesn't work out, or if you guys think I'm crazy, you can come to my door and stab me with
Don't come to.
But I think we give Bradbury another chance. Because last year we had because hear me out. This is why. And call me crazy. I know he hasn't done much, but he hasn't really had a great defense coordinator when he's been in Philly. So with Vic Fangio, we have seen night and day difference. Granted, preseason, the defense is moving on all cylinders. So I say we give him, at least to week 5 and see what he can do for us. I am not all out with him. That's my hot take of the year.
I think he'll be fine at safety. He's old, so he's slower, but he still knows how to play defense. I think we got good depth at safety. You got CJG said whatever. Sidney Gardner Johnson. You got Reed Blankenship.
EJ.
You got Avonte Maddox played safety that entire preseason game. Bradbury plays safety, and you got Sidney Brown coming off the PUP. So that's 5 notable good people to play safety. I would say this homie we got, he's just a camp body. He knows Fangio's system. Probably going to be a good practice team guy after final cuts. But I don't see a scenario where he makes the team.
I think the Eagles safety's up for grabs for a lot of guys. Like it's very much a position that anyone could kind of make a name for themselves. Which, if you're a Philadelphia Eagles safety right now, you better get to fucking work. You better do everything you can. Eat those peanut butter and jellies in the middle of the night. Start bulking up because we need a hard-hitting safety back there to complement CJ. We don't know who that number 2 is going to be. So Caden Stearns, it was 21 games over 3 years. And in the past 29 games, he's only played 2 snaps for the Broncos. So he has been out the past 2 years. But when he's out there, he's productive. Vic Fangio knows how to utilize him. He's young. He's a moldable player. I mean, why not? I think it's either going to be this guy or Bradbury. I'll say that. I actually like Jack's take a lot about the defensive coordinator now that I think about that. That actually makes sense. Bradbury's a good player. Like, he's played in a lot. He's proven he can do it in different cities, different towns, different football places. So who's to say? Maybe new coordinator, maybe it works out for him.
He's just old. Yeah.
Amir, any thoughts on this?
I'm just all right. So it's nice to have depth. That's the thing, because injuries happen. It's football. It's a hard sport. Injuries happen. You can't just not want a guy just because you don't think he's gonna be the best for the position. In this case, safety. But injuries happen, so you need depth, and you need somebody that you're going to be able to shape into a better player than what they are, because as you were saying, he didn't really have a good defensive coordinator. So it would be, I think, better for people that want to see him grow as a player to see him get under Vic Fangio and see if he can actually be a good safety.
Yeah, I think so too. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how the safety position shakes out with Vic Fangio. There's a lot of question marks on this defense. Linebacker, safety, I think edge is going to be kind of a question mark with Huff being that primary guy and Sweat. But besides that, there's not too much depth. But we shall see. We shall see. Speaking of not too much depth at edge, a guy that's left that a lot of people now the past week have said has dodged a bullet is Hassan Reddick. And welcoming into the show, a legend, somebody you guys love, the man, the myth, the legend, Dennis. Did the Eagles dodge a bullet on Hassan Reddick?
9:30.
He said 1 minute. He said 1
Oh,
minute.
good. My fault. Jack, Josh? Oh, here we go.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Daddy's back. See, you made one mistake, and I'm shooting from the hip here, thinking pro wrestling. The Phillies need to do one thing. Play the fucking song. As far as our safety problem, get rid of Reed Blankenship. If you look at Madden, Josh, Sidney Brown is starting over Reed Blankenship. That's a sign from the gods. As far as Hassan Reddick, bring him home, bring him back. He should have never left. I wouldn't want to play for the Jets either, because that's like playing for the Cleveland Browns all through the 2000s.
So you think that the Eagles didn't dodge a bullet? You think that Howie Roseman, or do you think that he was smart about the whole way he went about this? Now Hassan Reddick has almost learned his lesson, and he's going to come back and be the boy who cried wolf and play for the Birds.
I don't even think it needs to be a learning lesson. It's a simple pay the man. The man's worth the money. The beginning of last season, he had a cast on his hand that he couldn't use his hands. As a defensive end, like, you need your hands. He could not be the Hassan Reddick that we saw the year before because he did not have all. He was basically Jason Pierre-Paul with the freaking glove on his hand is what he was. Whatever you do, kids, don't play with a firecracker in your hand because you'll look like Jason Pierre-Paul. Heads up.
So here's the thing. Now, he's missed 15 days of training camp, right? He owes over $850,000 in mandatory fines, and he also owes over $350,000 worth of discretionary fines. So if we were to bring him back, which, I mean, we allowed CJG to come back to Philly, but the fact that, like, yes, obviously he is a key player to this defense. He was a great player when he was here. But at the same time, if he really loves Philadelphia, you would want to think he takes the, hometown deal, right? Because we had to pay Devontae Smith.
Who are we as fans to ask that man to take a pay cut when he's done nothing but give his heart and soul to the team over the last 2 years, and all he's asking is for a little bit more money? Which, I mean, yeah, he's getting older, but he also produces. We paid Javon Curse how much money, and he was how old?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
The Eagles do have some money to spend as well. Is something that's kind of changed that didn't happen, with the free agency. It all kind of like worked out where old Howard is probably sitting in his office right now going, well, this kind of worked out for me. And he could probably make an offer on Reddick if Reddick and the Jets come to the decision that it's okay to trade him. That's the thing right now. Either Hassan's going to get paid or Hassan's going to end up playing and not getting paid. Because I don't think that Hassan Reddick is not going to not play football next year. I don't think that's in his DNA. I don't know.
So hear me out. I found this out. So the Jets and Hassan Reddick agreed to an extension, right? More money, right? But here's the catch. Here's the catch 22. They will not pay that extension until this is the Jets. Till Hassan Reddick shows up to camp, right?
Right.
Hassan Reddick will not receive that or will not come back to the Jets if he's not paid before he comes back. So it's kind of like this like chess match. Like, okay, they agreed to something, but at the same time, it's like the Jets said, we're not going to pay you this until you show up to camp. And then Riddick's like, okay, we agreed to this, but I'm not showing up to camp if you don't pay me this before I show up. So it's kind of like,
wow,
yeah, standoff. Exactly. So it's a standoff. What they're gonna. I mean, we'll see what happens, but that's what I heard, and it's kind of crazy that
I don't think. I think the Jets would rather him not play the season than trade him before the end of the season, personally.
Twice.
Well, Joe Douglas had an official statement too. I don't know if you guys heard it. Sorry, go ahead, Josh. Yeah. I'll read that in a second.
No, Joe Douglas came out and said we're not trading him. I don't. I think the Jets are in a position where on paper their roster is the best it's ever been. Yes, there are restrictions, but I think it's kind of we're going to get what we came here for situation. And I just don't think they had to trade him. They're not going to cut him, right? They cut him, they lose whatever. So they either re-sign him or they trade him. I don't think it happens before the end of the season. So
yeah, the one thing I will say too
agree with Dennis. I feel bad. We should pay him. He deserved it. We should pay him.
That's what Aaron Rodgers said today too. Gotta love the Jets. Their statement, which is very confusing to me. Since the trade discussions back in March, we have been clear, direct, and consistent with our position. Our focus will remain on the guys we have here as we prepare for the regular season. So what the fuck was your position? Like, hey, we're not going to pay you and we're going to hope that you play football? Like, seriously, Jets, what was your position? What was your logic, Joe Douglas? Like, was it you're going to hope that he plays? Was it you told him, hey, you're going to come here and play this year. You're going to perform. We're going to win a Super Bowl, and then I'm going to pay you? And if you think that he's buying that shit, no, he probably said, yeah, man, that's cool and all, but I need to get paid before camp. And he was probably like, yeah, we'll see about that. And it was probably just never set in stone or something like that. Maybe that's what it is.
What I've noticed in years from different GMs is that's just GM talk for, hey, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear, but you better show up first before I even decide to give you the extension, just like Josh was saying. But in this case, like, why are we not paying him? Why wouldn't any team pay that man for what he's produced in the last 2 years? Okay, the last few games last year, let's all agree right now, the whole team was a complete shit show after the 49ers game. Can we agree?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
What in your right mind thinks any of them players wanted to show up to Lincoln Financial Field after the 49ers game?
Yeah.
They had no faith in the coaching. They had no faith in themselves. There was arguments all through the locker room. And it was constant argument, constant disagree. Like, they don't want to show up for work. I wouldn't want to show up for a game. I didn't want to go back after the 49ers game. But it's the fact of pay the man. Look what he's done. I mean, dog, can you pull his stats up for the last 2 years?
I don't have him on me handy, but he's been insane. I mean, I
How
know
many
exactly what
sacks
you're
he's had
talking
to have
about.
over 20? He's had to have over 30 sacks in 2 seasons, right?
He
Yeah,
had
25.
16, I know, the Super Bowl year, something insane. Maybe it was 15, something absurd. And we all remember the NFC Championship game where they beat the 49ers. He was all over Brock Purdy
Yeah.
or whoever the fuck ended up throwing the ball by the end of that game. So I hear you. He's been an asset. It was dumb of the Eagles to let him walk. But
In what
Bryce Huff's a
mind?
good player too.
In what mind is it right that we gave up him?
How he's looking at this from a business decision. Maybe we don't see it yet, but you know Howard. He's always got to be the smartest guy in the room. Sometimes to his benefit, sometimes to his fault. We don't know how this as fans is going to like who's to say, dude, if Bryce Huff comes out this year and just is this insane prospect that none of us knew about, we're going to be thankful. And I will say the one thing that people are giving Howie his credit for that he deserves. This would be happening with us right now. Probably. This would be happening with us, and we'd be panicking going, who's our edge going to be? I do think it would be happening with us.
I think he would show up for us.
So
I
last season, Hassan Reddick had 29 solo tackles. He had 11 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 0 interceptions.
Yeah, so he's at 30.
So 27 sacks over 2
27.
seasons, and you want to tell me not pay him? Yeah, pay him.
Yeah, I think the difference is Dalton. He wasn't a free agent. He was he was signed with us, and I think what happened was Howie saw that he was going to want an extension, and Howie couldn't afford it, so he traded him. The Jets, it's not like free agency. The Jets never talked to Reddick and said, "Hey, this is why we want you on this." He just got sent to the Jets, and without tampering, you're not allowed to talk to GM. So he showed up to the Jets and then started talking to GM. So he never had any chance for his manager to talk to the Jets. So he never had any trade discussions. I would assume Howie probably didn't tell the full truth of what he wanted in his extension when Howie was talking to the Jets. So while I will say that I don't know that we be having this full scale problem if he was still an Eagle, I do kind of feel bad because we basically traded him. We probably didn't tell the full story. So I would assume come August 2025, Hassan Reddick is in training camp for neither the Eagles or the Jets. If I would have met.
Back to the Cardinals.
Yes, dude.
Cardinals.
Oh my God. Did you just say that? I said that to Josh Harris at work. I said, watch Jonathan Gannon, somebody that he played with before. He was in Arizona before. He likes it there. He probably has established connections. He's going to end up back on the Cardinals, I bet. I'm with that.
It's like a catch-22 with him, though. As much as like I love Hassan, I think Hassan would be good to stay home and bring back. He's not that old. He can still produce. He's worth the money. He's good to help train people. Yeah, Nolan Smith has put on all this muscle, but Nolan was learning a lot from him last season. Now, I'm going to say this, and a lot of people don't like it. I think Nolan's going to do more than Bryce Huff does this year.
Wow.
And I'm going to say this because I'm not letting Dora get away with this shit. I'm the one that said Trotter would start this season at some point before he did.
Oh, shit.
Yes, I did.
Well, hey,
As soon as
you
we
can stay with
drafted
us
him.
for that segment. Instead of one, you get 2 for the price of 1 because you called it. I mean, the breakout game, man, against the Ravens, it was, I believe, 1 sack and 6 tackles.
Yep.
Kid's looking like a stud. Talk about following in your father's footsteps.
That's his dad all over again, dude, no doubt. His dad was a gap stuffer, but this kid's a sideline-to-sideline type of linebacker that you have to be. He has to be versatile at this point, and he's showing that he can do it right out the rip, and Fangio likes it, or he wouldn't be getting first-team reps. And, yes, I did call this as soon as we drafted him when I came on here in Dalton, and I said it because Dalton can go back and find it. This kid will be starting at some point this season. No, I did not think it would be this quick, but it's coming. That kid is going to have a breakout year. I'm telling you, he'll have at least 2 picks and at least 5 sacks by the end of the season. Jordan Davis will probably get benched for being fat again and then cut at the end of the season.
He's coming out swinging for everybody. on the Eagles defense. I love it. Coming with that Jim Johnson type of vibes.
We're going to see 4 linebackers just start in the rotation. I mean, I don't think
in the beginning of the season, I think. I don't think throughout the year. I would hope not throughout the year.
No, I think so. I don't know who's going to be on the field for snap 1 of the defensive segment, but I think you're going to see Trotter, Devin White, Nakobe Dean, and Zach Braun all get equal, if not similar, playing time. Personally, I just think that's the way it's going to be, which is fine. We had Cunningham and everybody and their mother play linebacker last year. It can't get worse. So, I mean, I know we're talking about starting. I don't know who's going to start. I think here's the big fear. Looks like Trotter can do a little bit of everything. Looks like Braun can do a little bit of everything. Devin White has been able to do everything. A little old. I think the big thing is Nakobe Dean. I feel like he's kind of getting a bad rap. He's awesome at blitzing. He's awesome at stuffing the run. Get Nakobe Dean off the field in 3rd down when they're going to throw. He's not great in coverage. That's fine. Maybe that's when you get Trotter out there. I think all 4 linebackers have a position playing on the defense. I don't think it's going to be your bench until somebody gets hurt for either of the 4 of them.
Yeah, and I agree with Josh. I think they're definitely going to be putting them in the field, yeah,
like a running back by committee.
Exactly, exactly. So they're going to have Dean at this down. They're going to have Braun at this down. Like it's going to be interchangeable, which I think is nice to be versatile. And I mean, with Vic Fangio being a defensive coordinator, I think that's what he prides himself on, that he can get them in when it matters. So I think we're not going to really see a LB1, LB2. We're going to see LB infinity. You know what I mean?
Mike, you know what I mean? You're going to see all these specific, jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, you got the power back. You got the north-south back. Like, that's what's going to be for the linebacker position, for sure.
You got the nickel back.
I will say, too, it's nice that we finally have a coverage linebacker in Trotter Jr. because that's, like Dennis said, sideline to sideline guy. The Eagles have been longing for a linebacker like that for so long. Michael Kendricks is the last guy I think that could play remotely coverage for the Eagles, or Jordan Hicks, whoever was here last.
Jordan Hicks for the first 5 games of the season. Defensive MVP.
Oh my God. Amir, you got any thoughts on Trotter Jr.?
Look, if he just continues this path, I made a video on this earlier today. It was part of it. If he just continues on this path, he's gonna be an all-star. That's what I gotta tell you. 6 tackles, 1 sack in his debut. That's a good debut. That's a good debut. It's impressive. All right. We got to see how he does the rest of the preseason. Hopefully he amps it up. He gets better. But that's a great debut, man. But I just want to see him be a good defensive player. Get the sacks, make the tackles, be coverage, sideline to sideline, like he said. And I just want to see him do good about it. I'm excited for this.
It is exciting.
He missed one thing that we all want to see him do, though. We all want to see him slam the axe in honor of his dad. Can we just get that out there?
Yeah.
100%. No, I agree. I think this defense, like we were talking about, interchangeable linebacker. I feel like that's what we're going to do for the majority of our safeties and our cornerbacks, because we have so much talent at those positions this season that having those players, I think it's just going to be interchangeable. We're not going to have a solid, you're going to start every game. You're going to start every week. I think it's going to be interchangeable, kind of week-to-week basis.
You're going to have 16 to 19 guys play on defense every game.
Yeah. I mean, the main people you're going to have on defense are the D-line, like the outside linebackers. That's what's kind of set in stone, whereas the cornerbacks, safeties, and linebackers are going to be interchangeable. So, I mean, that's how I'm feeling.
Interested to see. Hope everybody can play special teams. That's all I'll say.
Isaiah Rodgers, though. Dennis, I'm not sure. We haven't talked to you. How do you like Isaiah Rodgers?
It's still early. I think the year off's really matured him up. I think he has the chance to be something special. I think he can break out here like he was trying to do in Indianapolis. I definitely think he's that fit to fix the Bradbury problem. As you can see, when one of my head was in the background and you brought up Bradbury, I was bashing it into a wall. I think you're on drugs. I love you, but I think you're on drugs. That guy needs to find the Listen, that guy needs to find the trash can that man stood outside the NovaCare complex last year with, and move all his stuff in it and become Oscar the Grouch. The guy is the biggest shit can in football. I would take Tim Tebow playing quarterback over watching him play safety or cornerback. If that tells you anything. I'd rather watch Reed Blankenship miss tackles than watch that clown be on the field. Excuse me, Blankenship. Blankenship.
I was going to say, you said Blankenship. That's...
He made a good play. He's been doing okay in training camp, but it still doesn't make up that he's shit. The Velcro thing is still on there for shit. I haven't moved it back to the P yet. But Sidney Brown is going to start over them when he gets back. So God bless Sidney Brown.
Hey, I agree.
Oh, where's Dalt? Dalt, where'd you go? Come back. I got to say this on camera. He left me.
You are on camera. You guys don't need me here to run the whole dang thing.
Camera, bro.
Not like the fucking teacher. What's up?
I need you on camera. I still think we should riot because your girl didn't win. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
What'd you say? You broke up there.
I said, I think we should riot because your girl didn't win.
Well, that's a story for another day that we won't get into. But I will say we are very proud of her. And that was an awesome trip. So stay tuned for that vlog to California. Phillies couldn't get the job done, but that's a story of the fucking season right now besides tonight, which I'm sure we'll get into in our post-game show here in a second. But hey, Dennis, I seriously want to thank you for jumping on here. We're going to be seeing you real soon, handsome, at tailgate season. So get ready. But please tell the people where they can find you on your way out of here.
You can find me in Lot D or E. I don't know where I'll be at this season yet. You can always find me in the link. You can find me at Countrywide Eagles Podcast. You can find me on my personal page, Dennis C. Or you could also see me at All-Star Wrestling Federation where I'm wrestling, but that's up to you.
Jack, I need to get in touch with you on that because that would be a fun vlog to film. And that would be the only time I think I could ever say go Cowboys because of you, Dennis. Saltwater Cowboy, right? Is that what it is? This man can kick some ass, but we'll show you guys that another time. Dennis, want to thank you for jumping on here, and we will see you soon. Go Birds.
Merry Christmas. Go Birds.
Merry Christmas.
I love when he says Merry Christmas. But hey, speaking of Christmas, it feels like Christmas now that football's back for people like me. Jack and I have the Eagles post-game show tomorrow. If you guys aren't doing anything, come hang out with us after this game. Another advertisement while I'm plugging shit. Just want to say, if you guys like this shirt, you guys think that this shirt's cool, of Philadelphia's Halloween with all 4 of the mascots. It is now available. Link is in our bio. This was last year's Halloween classic. Want to start selling these a little bit earlier just because it's a banger of a shirt. So check it out for yourself. If you want to buy it, you can buy it now. I would like to buy a win tomorrow night because that's what the New England Patriots seem to think that they can do in the NFL. This is going to be an interesting game. The Pats, I think, are a tough team. They have more depth, I think it's fair to say, than the Ravens. The Ravens have very good players on defense, but the Patriots are more spread out with younger talent. So this is going to be a little bit tougher of a preseason game, a harder fought battle. Hopefully, we'll see a little bit more of the starters playing. I don't know what the weather's looking like for tomorrow. I'm really hoping that it's going to be good weather just for the sake of being able to see the starters play. We all know fucking Sirianni's little secretive attitude. He doesn't like to say shit before the game, which I love that. I just want to go on record saying I love that. But as a fan, it sucks. You don't know what's happening until you go out there and see it. So I am hoping for the best, expecting the worst when it comes to starters playing. If the starters play, I would like to see them play for at least 2 drives, maybe 3. I want to see Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts get out there. Saquon Barkley in the joint practice had a great receiving touchdown. It looked like on a wheel route, maybe up the middle or something. It wasn't on the outside, so I probably fucked that up. But the route was amazing. They just looked in tune, in connection. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., we hear, has a pick against Jacoby Brissett, I think it was, for the Patriots. So that's fantastic. The Eagles defense, the Eagles offense looks in tune right now from what we're hearing. So I want to see it tomorrow in the game. And Eagles fans, if you're with me, you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on Twitter, drop a like, drop a heart, drop a retweet, drop a subscription on anything that you're on if you agree with that take, because I want to see it. Just like Missouri, the show me state, Jack. I want to see it. How are you feeling, man?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of turmoil and at the Patriots because Joe Milton, the quarterback, he is a dog, and their receiving core is not that great. But my hopes to see how this game is just us working on all cylinders, the defense performing well. I wish this was regular season, but it's my hope is to see Will Shipley show up again, Kenny Pickett show up again. Like, this is going to be a good game. Depending on the weather, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be an exciting game. Like I said, it's preseason. Who really cares? But this is where the young guys kind of make their stay. You know, this is how you earn your spot, earn your stripes.
And before we get into Amir's take, I do want to make sure. Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dordan, the mayor of Delaware.
What is up, motherfuckers? Like it's tough, you know. Thank you to TikTok for the sponsorship. It's Eagle season, Philly season's happening right now, but who really cares? Buy your ticket through TikTok, no fees at all. Give really good discounts and things like that. Tonight's question, last week, I don't think Dalton, did you get it correct?
I did not. The score is 1-0 everyone. Ashley has 1, everyone else has none.
No, I think it's a clean slate. I don't think anyone got it correct because
Ashley got it.
Ashley
did get it, I believe. She did.
Okay.
Yeah, she did.
Well, tonight's question we have for you, again, football season, baby. Let's go Birds. The question is, the Philadelphia Eagles lost to which team in Super Bowl? I guess I'm not sure, XV. I'm not sure what that stands for. 10. What is that? Anyway,
15?
In the 1980s. No, 1980s. So they lost to which team in the 1980 Super Bowl? A, Patriots, B, Bengals, C, Steelers, or D, Raiders. And like this graphic shows, Ashley's in the lead, the reigning champ. She has 1 correct. So we'll give you the answer to end the show. Again, which team did the Eagles lose to in Super Bowl in the 1980s? It was at A, Patriots, B, Bengals, C, Steelers, or D, Raiders. We'll give you the answer at the end of the show.
I actually do know this one. Fun fact.
Me too.
So there you go. So me and Amir are going to be tied. Amir, we will add you to the board as well. But what are you most looking forward to tomorrow, Amir? Do you feel like a kid on Christmas with preseason back in full swing?
I'm not even I'm not going to be here for like the first half. It sucks. But there's one guy that I want to see. I really hope that he gets better. Anaya Smith, because he was a dog in college. If you watch any of his highlights, he's a dog in college. But I want to see the starters at least play one drive. I see them get a touchdown, maybe, most likely. But no, I think they're gonna do better than how they did against the Ravens, and it's Eagles are better than the Patriots. Patriots, they have Joe Milton. He's doing pretty good. I have been seeing some of his clips. He's been doing pretty good. Even in one game only. But yeah. I think it's going to be a win. It doesn't matter though. It's preseason, but it's how the coaching staff, the coaches, they know who's going to be a good backup, even who's going to be a good starter. All right. And it's for the rookies to make their mark. So I mean, I guess it's gonna be an interesting game, to be honest. I want to see if Jeremiah Trotter Jr. does better than how he did in his debut, or if he does worse. Hopefully, the first option.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to top that.
Yeah.
But I think with the way that what we've been hearing, the way that this is trending, things could be good. And I like the Anais Smith take very much because somebody's got to emerge for that wide receiver 3 position. I don't think enough people are talking about watching the slot position tomorrow and who's going to kind of emerge. Because as much as we love Johnny Wilson, Eagles fans, and we think he's going to be great, he's going to be in there when the Eagles really want to run the ball. They're going to put A.J. Brown out there, 2 tight ends, and Johnny Wilson. And Saquon Barkley is going to have his way. But that's not going to be all the time. You need that shifty guy, that slot guy that can kind of be similar to Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Give me somebody like that. A pop, a guy that can give you pop. Britton Covey, same thing. I think Britton Covey can give you pop. Can he give you enough pop? That's up for debate with some people. I think so. Some people don't. But the Eagles-Patriots game tomorrow is going to be a ton of fun. Joey Havens out here saying that the former number 9 overall pick is going to be our starting slot wide receiver. I don't know if I agree with that take, Havens. I don't know. It was interesting last week watching Kenny Pickett and John Ross throw to each other because it was like, look at what could have been with both of these guys. Like they were expected so much coming out of college, and then now they're both like just kind of like backups. And John Ross is even less relevant than Kenny Pickett. So we'll see. But I want to thank Joey for everything that he does on our podcast with the graphics. I want to thank Ashley. They do a great job behind the scenes. If you guys see any of this stuff and wonder why it always looks so good, why it always looks so great, it's because of them. So I want to take a second to thank them as always. And now kicking it into our final segment of the evening. Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dalton, the mayor of Delaware.
Again, we get Tick Pick for the sponsorship. Like I said, it's bird season. Buy your tickets through Tick Pick. No fees at all. As you see, Season 7, Episode 2, the leaderboard is Ashley with 1. So tonight's question we have for you, and Dalton, thank you for being correct. It was Super Bowl 15 is the right answer.
Yeah.
But that's the Roman numerals. Anyway, the question we have for you is the Philadelphia Eagles lost to which team in Super Bowl 15? A, Patriots, B, Bengals, C, Steelers, or D, Raiders? And tonight's answer is we'll go to the crew. We'll go to the fans. We got Conrad Joseph with D, the Raiders. And that is the correct answer. But to the team, Dalton said a correct answer. Raiders. Yeah, exactly. Amir got it correct with the Raiders. And not to mention, Josh got it correct also with the Raiders. So it's a clean slate, and also Joey Havens, thank you for the answer. So as we look at the board now, the fans are now with 1. Dalton is with 1. Ashley didn't answer. Tommy didn't answer. Josh got it correct with 1. Amir's not on the graphic. He got it correct. So it's tie ball game. It is across the board tie ball game. So that is your tonight's trivia.
Wait, does Tom not have any, though? So it's not a tie ball game for him?
No, he got it wrong. Oh, right. You're right. He got it wrong last week. So, yeah, that's my bad.
Oh, so everybody has a point but Tom then?
Correct. So.
Suck it, Tom.
Anyway. If Dalton, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate and thank Ashley and Joey for everything that they do. We got a LA vlog coming out. We have an Eagles practice vlog. They're going to be combined into one, where our boy Brandon helped us do a food review for John's Roast Pork. Tomorrow night for the Eagles game, please come join Jack and I for the Eagles post-game show. Start joining us. You guys will love it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be breaking down good, bad, and ugly, hopefully not much of that ugly or that bad part, of the Philadelphia Eagles and New England Patriots game tomorrow night. So please join us for that. And last but not least, if you guys want to buy one of these shirts, check out the bonfire link in my bio. We're coming out with a bunch of new merch. Also going to be dropping some new hats soon. So check them out. But without further ado, take it away, Jack.
Yes, and don't even forget to mention it. I'll help you out, Shardy. Right after this episode, we have the Phillies postgame show. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We will kind of break down the Phillies versus the Marlins. So without further ado, thank you. We had 52 viewers tonight, which is awesome. I think that's the most we've had consistently. Appreciate everyone who still comes out and supports us trying to make this a great thing. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the fans. But without further ado, hey, Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.